not banned, he's picked really high in that rotation. Something you don't really see for support picks.
Yeah.
And I do not know why Pacific is hovering over this Ezreal right now. I guess someone didn't tell them that this is 5.14. So for those of you who don't know, Runeglaive no longer works on minions, and it no longer works on champions. It only works on monsters. So it really reduces the effectiveness of Ezreal. You can't use the
the
mystic shot Runeglaive clock.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. Maybe they want to AD carry, but well, yeah, AD carry Ezreal is still
there.
there.
AD carry Ezreal still open, and
yeah, it looks like
the smite on Oni is really telling me otherwise though. So
well, do you have any other champions in mind that have the smite mid viable right now? Because of course, definitely not.
Because Runeglaive got changed, not Ezreal that got changed. It's the entire item.
Right. They keep missing that. Maybe they missed that as well.
Or maybe it might be some Devourer Ezreal new type of cheese or something like that.
Oh, it reminds me, in the ranked game, I encountered a smite bot Vayne.
Oh, wait, that's actually pretty good.
Are you sure?
If you get the 30 stacks, it's actually not practical.
Yeah.
But if you manage to get those 30 stacks on the Devourer, it makes Vayne really strong. You proc your W,
the silver bolts.
The silver bolts in 2 auto attacks rather than 1.
Oh.
So, because for those of you who don't know, the new Devourer's change. If you manage to get 30 stacks on it, it makes it so your auto attacks apply twice.
Yeah.
In 1 hit.
But this is assuming the Vayne can survive the laning phase, the early game.
Smite makes it really hard.
Yeah, definitely. That's why not recommended. But if you're confident enough, I guess you can pick that up. But let's go back to the game. Yes. Ezreal. Mid Oni, but they're hovering onto other champions that could be flex picked here.
Kog'Maw mid Ezreal AD carry, and you still got your strong poke. However, it looks like Infused is going for the team comp that they really know well, where they have a bunch of AoE, a lot of CC, and they have that Sivir. So they Sivir, you get all your CC, bring them in the front line, so Malphite ults in, Alistar does his headbutt pulverize combo, Rek'Sai tunnels in, and just so much CC, and then you really have like a really strong, consistent AD carry with that Sivir, and then you could go for Burst, and he was banned, which is what Infuse has been going for as of late.
Yes.
However, it'll be interesting to see what they decide to pick up for the mid lane end.
Yeah, they kind of lack damage. Yeah. They do have a lot of front line here, the Alistar, the Rek'Sai,
and wow,
so it really
Graves
is a mid lane.
Locked in, and that will be an Ezreal mid. I feel like Oni... Someone needs to tell Oni about the Runeglaive changes. Like,
get the memo.
Print out the patch notes and just hand it to him right now, because
I don't know.
That's gonna be a bad time.
Maybe they have different plans, but you know, the smite is still there. I would have understood Siguro if AD Ezreal mid, because that was a thing before.
Yeah.
But right now, he's still wearing that smite, and it looks like a Janna picked up for them, which is. I guess it's alright because they need the disengage.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. They do really need that disengage. That was actually a really smart pick and ban. Like, other than the Ezreal pick, the pick and ban coming in from Pacific is fairly smart. They actually have 3 ways to scatter the enemy team. They do have that Onslaught of Shadows from the Hecarim. They do have that Explosive Cast from the Gragas. And they do have that Monsoon. So lots of ways to just disperse the enemy team. Ensure that once the initial CC is on, they can immediately peel off and just kite back with if Ezreal was as strong as he was before, in 5.12, 5.13, then you kite back with that Ezreal. However, yeah, we'll see how this pans out. And then meanwhile, Infuse did manage to pick up that Ahri as their mid laner.
Yeah.
Really good complement to the burst CC coming in.
Yes.
Ahri can just immediately Spirit Rush in, do the burst damage, potentially assassinate a target, so they're not limited to just the team fighting.
Yes.
They have other ways to win the game. And actually, I really like the Infused team composition. So
yeah, they do have a lot of knockoffs here. Like 3 knockoffs.
A Yasuo would have been really cool to see.
Yeah, right. I remembered Naga's.
Yeah,
but they didn't have 3 knockoffs. They had they had different plans.
I think our only CC was like Sejuani
for
the Yasuo knockoff.
Yeah,
but
and
that's in the past. And right now we just gotta focus on this game right here.
Yeah, focus on this game. And yeah, I still don't know what to make of the what do you call this? Oh right, watch and win. Registration is now open. So just a reminder for you guys, for our first time viewers, head on to the Pro Gaming Series Facebook page and fill in the form, and you might get a chance to win 150 RP. So this is like 10 winners.
Yeah.
15 winners. 15 winners of 150 RP. And the next game, meron ulit tayong watch and win. So, abangan nyo yan. You will see we broke it down for you guys, yung team comps ng Pacific Esports and Infuse. So, you guys have to vote kung sino sa tingin nyo ang mananalo based on comps, or you're just basically a fan of Infused or Pacific Esports.
Yeah, definitely. So, make sure you vote. Don't let your vote go to waste.
Yeah. 150 RP, man. I mean, talking about
you can get those. You can pick up the new Graves or Twisted Fate skin.
Exactly. How many skins do we have? I feel like there's a bunch of new skins. It depends on the act, diba? Act 1, we have the Graves and the Twisted Fate first.
Have you got your icon yet from the acts
Not yet, because I picked Twisted Fate. I picked Graves side, and I wasn't actually doing a lot of kills.
Oh.
So yeah, I should have picked Twisted Fate for the assist and the gold.
I've been doing the Twisted Fate site. However, I'm having like a really hard time trying to farm the gold because my games seem to end in like one-sided stomps where my team gets completely dominated. So
It's really hard.
I'm working on it. However, I haven't got my icon yet.
Yeah,
and
maybe
it looks really good. Like both of the icons look really good.
Yeah. Do you have a chance to get both? Or just
I believe it's just one icon only.
One. So you have to choose a side. Choose wisely. Graves or Twisted Fate. There are 3 acts, and in each act they will release a skin. Correct? A batch of skins.
I have no idea on how the mechanics work.
Well,
I haven't been up to date on that.
Yeah, Act 3 will release the Quinn.
The new game. How about the new game mode?
The new game mode. I actually want to study about that.
Because that looks really fun.
Yeah, I believe Shinbu mentioned Pokemon daw.
Yeah, it's like everyone on your team. It's Summoner's Rift. However, everyone on your team has a special like an additional minion. And there's 4 types
everyone.
And there's 4 types of minions for you to choose from. There's more
starter
of the
Pokemon.
Yeah, like starter Pokemon, and then you got your extra Pikachu there.
Okay.
So, like each one, there's like a tanky minion. There's a one that deals siege damage, one that's more oriented on clearing the wave, one that's more support oriented.
Okay.
And then they'll spawn with your regular minions.
Ooh.
And then as you play the game, you have another form of currency where you can upgrade.
Evolve.
Yeah, you can just like you can buy upgrades for your minions.
Okay.
So it kind of adds another layer of depth to the game, and I'm really excited to try it out. It looks really fun.
When is it gonna be released? Is it in Act 3?
I'm assuming around Act 3, I guess, because
Okay.
it is part of the Bilgewater storyline, I believe. Like they've got Krakens and stuff. Like
yeah, I really like what Riot's been doing. I mean, first we had the Shurima lore. And then next up we had the Freljord. Actually, Freljord first. Freljord. Fragilord.
However you want to pronounce
Good
it.
one. Yeah, and then now we have Bilgewater, and I feel like this is the biggest one.
Yeah,
yet.
definitely.
They chopped it at different parts, like Act 1, and then there's even a Tagalog version of it. It was really good. Did you read it?
Well, I can't really read Tagalog that well, so I think you already know the answer.
Okay, gotcha. Anyway, new HUD. A lot of mixed reactions dito. And I feel like it's because hindi sila sanay.
I personally don't like it at all, but that's just me. Like my biggest problem with the HUD, like I don't want to be a critic. It's just that I'm kind of used to just having like certain things at certain places on the map where if I wanted to look at my gold and my items, I look at specifically at the bottom left of the screen, like the very bottom left. If I wanted to look at my skills and my cooldowns, I look at the very bottom. If I want to look at my skills, I look at the left. However,
maybe
it's all in one place now.
Yeah, maybe you're just
I'll probably get used to it.
It's supposed to be convenient since it's at one place lang. But yeah, maybe we're not used to it. I mean, it's just the first night. First night, maybe.
I'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, yeah, you guys are watching the Pro Gaming Series 2015 Summer Split powered by Smart Prepaid GameX and Tascas PH. Just a shout out to you guys watching Jansa Lizard Bear Lair. You guys are ridiculously awesome. So let's break down the comps, Nate.
All right, so for the Pacific Esports side in the top lane, we will be having that Hecarim being played by Jaspy. For the jungle, we will be having Gragas being played by Bale. For the mid lane, we will be having Oni on the Ezreal. And for that bot lane duo, we will be having Luxuria and Ito on that Graves and Janna, respectively.
Yes, and on the red side, we have Infused Esports. On the top lane, we have Infused Pi on the Malphite. In the jungle, we have Rek'Sai with a kill. And the mid lane, we have ZXC with the Ahri. And for the bottom lane, we have Infused JRM with the Sivir. And the Alistar support by Kesso.
Yeah, so it's going to be really interesting to see how this pans out. I feel like Infused has the better team comp. Like, the Ezreal's one of the big factors. However,
yeah.
Infused has a specific way of playing the comp. They have a lot of AoE. And while Pacific did try to counter their comp in the pick and ban with all this disengage, it's easier to engage than it is to disengage, in my opinion.
Yeah, that is
like
true.
We'll see how this goes, as the game is about to start right now. So let's see what these guys do for their early game. Let's see if they decide to go for a lane swap, if they decide to go for the anything cheesy right now.
Yeah, they do have two ways to disengage. They have the Cask from Gragas and the Monsoon from Ito, from Janna. Although, really, really strong and hard engage for Infused Esports. It's all about execution now for them. You do have many options to go in, though.
Yeah. But the thing is, Infused is pretty good at their team fighting. They've shown in the past that they do have really strong team fighting. It's just that they usually tend to fall apart when it comes to the late game rotations and the micro plays.
That is true.
Macro plays, rather. That's where they start to fall apart. And we do see that invade coming in. However, that will be spotted by the ward. So Pacific just adjusting accordingly, backing off while placing some defensive wards to spot out the locations.
I wonder what they intend to do here.
You got 30
they placed already a ward up top in the red side, Pacific Esports. They just want to see where Rek'Sai is going to start, but looks like they are not going to go in. Are we going to see a level 1 fight here? They bump into each other. Here comes the fight. The triple man knockoff right there. Bale actually very low. He decides to back away. JRM landing a couple of hits. They decide to disengage into Infused Esports, but right now, yeah, no kills, no summoner spells used there. Here comes the minions.
A little bit of trading back and forth, and it would have been nicer if Kesso managed to land a bigger pulverize. He only managed to hit one person on that pulverize. I feel like he would have had a lot of flashes burnt if that pulverize landed. However, they'll go back to standard laning plays. We won't be seeing any lane swaps coming in. And it's going to be interesting to see how this pans out.
Yeah. I'm still focused on the Ezreal kasi kanina din nakakalimutan ko 5.14 na tayo. I was really overwhelmed with how 5.14 arrived agad. Parang hindi pa nga ako nakaka-get over sa 5.13. And here comes the Pirate Patch.
And what's interesting to know about the Ezreal is he actually picked up Essence Flux first. So he might be aware that Mystic Shot isn't as great anymore on the AP Ezreal.
Yeah.
And we'll just have to see how this goes.
Yeah, still Rune Glaive build. Right here though, the overwhelmed ang bot lane ng Infused Esports, which is pretty normal. It's a level 1. Mas may advantage ito ng Luxuria and Ito bot lane with the Janna and the Graves. Although, sino ba mas mataas ang Graves? Graves or Sivir?
I believe they actually have the same amount of range. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Alright.
But I believe they're both sitting around 600. Ish. Maybe give or take 50.
Yeah.
That's actually a pretty big range.
Yeah, but the advantage here is the Eye of the Storm dito ng Janna, which gives them a really huge, not a huge 80 boost, but an 80 boost. But here comes Bale, gets charmed, and here's the body slam as well. That's a really painful Oni, but the red buff will not be enough. Even the Mystic Shot flashes in, just wanted to secure the kill, but that's a flash gone for both mid laners. Meanwhile, here at the Riverside, a kill, and Bale with both the red buff will bump into the horse. Nice body slam for Bale, and first blood will go to the Hecarim. Greatly played by Pacific Esports.
Yeah, so that was just really good jungle pathing coming in from Bale. First picking up that flash burn in that mid lane, almost taking down ZXC, and then immediately going top lane and knew the pathing of a kill, knew that a kill would be somewhere in the top lane, and it just so happened that he was in the river taking that Scuttler crab, and Jaspy had really great response right there, immediately rushing in and taking that first blood.
Yeah, so Gragas started at the red side pala.
That's fairly standard.
Yes, very standard. Alright. And right here though, CS dito sa bot lane natin, not that significant at all.
Yeah, despite the zoning out coming in from the Pacific bot lane, JRM has been doing a really good job of keeping up in CS. Like, they are very low right now. However, the CS is still somewhat even. Down a wave.
Oh, look at that. Sneaky, sneaky Bale, actually, with the double buff. Double buff dito for Hecarim and for the Gragas, actually. Hecarim might bump into the Rek'Sai. Yes, he does. Level 3 versus level 4, but here comes the Malphite, though. He will slow him down, but right now, painful that was his Jaspi. Tunnels way to safety. Bale is there for the backup as well. Are they going to be able to catch up? Jaspi landing some Qs, landing some hits. Still, here comes the flash body slam. Ignite. Jaspi will get the kill once again. Wow.
Yeah, so Bale and Jaspi with that really good coordination right there. And that's 2-0 now coming in from Jaspi. That is really bad for this top lane Malphite. Malphite doesn't really have the greatest laning phase to begin with. And now that Jaspi is 2-0, he will be able to pick up an early component of that Triforce. Perhaps a Sheen, perhaps a Phage. And that's going to be a lot of trouble right now there.
Yeah, exactly. And Malphite is more reliant on those teleport, what do you call this? Unstoppable force plays dito. And all he can do is just CS. He's not really a dueling champion or split pushing champion. He's more of those surprise, I'm here, bump into your face, and then I'll set for my teammates.
And what's interesting to point out is that Jaspi actually decided to opt for a more utility focus for his early items, going for that home guards with that Mercury Treads, looking for those early ganks. So expect the early Dragon take coming in from Pacific. I expect around the 8-minute mark when Jaspi has his teleport available and when the jungler usually has his jungler items and the support can afford to buy wards. That's usually when the teams will set up for that early Dragon. And with that build, it kind of tells everyone, hey, we're going to set up that Dragon. Yeah. Or go for those really aggressive ganks and snowball to the other one.
Yep, the early teleport home guard plays. Although, Akil kanina was looking for something. Nakatambay siya kanina dun sa brush. But looks like they're not advancing as they have expected in the Pacific Esports. Pero itong Severe nila, slowly losing the CS gap dito.
Yeah, it's just really, I don't want to say poor trading on the Infuse side, but Pacific bot lane has been doing a good job of knowing when to play on the aggressive and knowing when to back off. And Kessel really hasn't had the opportunity to go in for that really strong trade. And that's really what's... Oh, wow.
Wow, they actually went in for Pushing Luxuria towards the members of Infused Esports. They do the heal, but he is ignited. Is it enough? Yes, it is. Kessel will get the kill. And that is great for Infused Esports.
All right, and that's the opportunity I was talking about right when I got interrupted by that gank right there. So really confident play coming in from Kesso, knowing the limitations of that character, knowing that Graves didn't have the quick draw available, went for that flash. And it worked out, and just really good coordination coming in from the members of the Infuse side.
Yeah, and he used everything, the flash, the heal, around that time. Yeah. Look at the timers, that was really great.
That's definitely what Infuse needed, in my opinion, as now Kesso is now able to back before Ito. He's able to pick up his Sightstone, and this lets him set up vision around that Dragon Pit. So that negates the home guard purchase coming in from Jaspi.
Yes.
And now Jaspi would have had a... Now Jaspi has sacrificed his stronger lane phase for nothing really.
They basically bought time for Infused Esports with that play. Also, they have been camping this area for quite a while now, waiting for Akil to farm the Raptors, and here he comes. Patience is a virtue. Akil, do you have flash? Yes, he does. Onslaught of Shadows will be there as well. Jaspi will secure the kill, but meanwhile, ZXD will use Spirit Rush to safety, and that is another kill. Here comes Malphite. He is level 6. Where's the unstoppable force? Will bump into ZXD. Has another stack of Spirit Rush, and Pai will secure the kill onto the Gragas, slowing the Hecarim down once again. But Oni doesn't want to be a part of this anymore. Jaspi, one more hit. Actually, yun na lang kulang. Will he be able to escape? Luxuria, meanwhile, in the bottom lane, JRM, they're duking it out. And dito naman tayo sa mid lane. Everything's crazy right now. Headbutt papunta sa minion just for safety, and that will be a disengage.
Yeah, so that was a really drawn out fight right there. The patience coming in from Pacific did pay off. They were managed to pick up a kill, and Infuse wasn't able to get that cleanup kill.
Yeah. If only they had some sort of range.
Yeah, definitely. And now the gold lead is roughly at 1k in favor of Pacific right now, and some aggression going into that bot lane, forcing that ultimate to be burned by JRM.
Yeah, using everything, because that collateral damage is gonna be really painful in a while, but here comes the support, the very, very large L-Star. Both have side stones now, but right now, okay, didn't hit.
Yeah, and what's interesting to point out is that Oni has actually been doing a pretty good job of this laning phase right now. Even PCS with ZXC right now, so it's working out for him. And wow, here comes the Monsoon aggressive play coming in that bot lane. However, they will simply back away with that flash being burnt.
Yeah, almost, but not quite. Still has a flash. A kill though will get spotted by the ward there from Jaspy. I like that skin so much.
Pool party Rek'Sai.
Dun, 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 dun. At first, I thought wala siya. Akala ko joke lang siya when they released it sa PBE with the previews by Skin Spotlights. Akala ko dinagdag lang yung music na yun. But then I'm so happy it wasn't. So, here comes the Alistar coming in. Failed the combo act. Or was it a quick draw? No, it wasn't. It was a fail. Flash override, but JRM is exhausted. Here comes the teleport up top. That will be a Malphite from Infuse. And the collateral damage will finish the Severe off, but that is one down for Infuse East, where Luxuria is not in a very good position at the moment. But that will be a revenge kill. Here comes Eye of the Storm. Ibibigay yung kill dito kay Pai. And that'll be a 1-for-1. 80 carries, both dead.
Wow.
Hey, man.
Yeah. Sorry, I just got caught up in the moment right there. So
Yeah.
that was a pretty good play by Luxuria and getting that burst down onto JRM. And meanwhile, Dragon is being taken by Infuse the teleport. While it wasn't effective in saving JRM, they do take that Dragon away.
Yeah, they're gonna trade a tower in exchange of the Dragon. Which is, yeah, pretty standard. Wala na silang magagawa. They don't have any mid lane. They don't have any AD carries around that time. And you do have vision, but yeah, no teleport for the Hecker.
Yeah, and that's probably not the greatest trade actually coming in from Infused, as they did lose that turret and they did lose that kill in that bot lane. And we'll just have to see whether or not Infused can really capitalize on the first dragon they have. If they start establishing dragon control and just continuously take the dragons to facilitate their lack of damage sort of come late game. If they have that 5 dragons, then it's gonna be really good coming in from Infused. However, Pacific is doing a good job.
Wow, look at that! The charm connects, everything connects, even Ignite, but the Prey Seeker will finish a kill off. Actually, the Ezreal off, and meanwhile here, Jaspy just teleported up, down towards the bot lane. Kessler's in trouble, uses the flash towards the tower. He is now activating his ultimate, but that's another kill for Pacific Esports. Oh, that's 3 members of Pacific Esports. That's good. Head up just denied the collateral damage will hit, but Jaspy will take the kill. That is a tower in exchange for 2 kills at the bottom.
Yeah, Jaspy is playing out of his mind this game.
Yeah.
5-0-0. This does not look like the Jaspy we saw the entire season. And that's really scary. That's going to be something that Infused needs to have a response to. And here comes Jaspy once again with that home guard teleport, chunking down Pai in that top lane.
Yeah, I kind of understand now why they pretty much banned top laners around Infused. Kanina sa banning phase, ZXC doesn't have Spirit Rush just yet, but I'll be here to inflict some damage on the Akil, taking a lot of hits and pain from Pacific Esports. That's not where you want, but here comes JRM and all the carries of Infused Esports. Ido in the front line. Vale will actually go in right there, and that's a great Monsoon, but right now, JRM manages to eliminate the Graves. And I'm not sure what happened there, but that's a 1-for-1 at the
Yeah,
bot.
1-for-1 in the bot lane. Akil getting a bit too overextended right there. Got punished by Bale on that Gragas. Akil is now 1-3-2, and in the meanwhile, they will Pacific will be able to take that top lane turret, mid lane turret rather.
Yeah, also 5.14, this is the patch where kahit hindi mo nakikita na tinatake yung Baron or Dragon, you still have the timers.
Yep, indeed. So that pretty much changes the dynamic of how the macro game is played, in my opinion.
Exactly.
While in the previous patches you could hear the sounds.
Yes.
It wasn't that reliable. Now you don't really have an excuse to not be aware of when the next Baron or when the next Dragon is spawning. And that creates a lot of emphasis around securing those objectives and playing around knowing when those objectives are up.
Exactly. Actually, some of them don't like it, even though you know you can time it well. You can time it naman. You can just type in chat na, oh, 23, 40, Dragon, blah, blah, blah. But some of them don't like that na parang, how about you? How do you find it?
When they introduced the buff timers, just like the red blue timers, I actually hated that change, as one of the things I really enjoyed doing as a support player was knowing when the buffs would die and timing all of that.
So it's like another way to support your teammates. Like, hey guys, blue buff's gonna be up in 5 seconds.
Yeah. However, I've kind of grown used to the change. It's part of the game.
Yes, that's true.
The game changes, and you've just got to learn how to adapt to it, really.
Yep. And looks like no fights will happen there. But although we see 3K gold lead for Pacific Esports here, well, ang scary dito is the Hecarim right now.
Yeah, 5-0-0. Has his components for that Zeal, is going to be picking up that Triforce very soon. And around the 16-minute mark, that's a scary Hecarim right there. Really fast Triforce, and once they time that with the power spike of the Infinity Edge coming in from Luxuria and the Luden's Echo, it looks like, coming in from Oni, Pacific will have such a huge advantage compared to Infused, who opted to go for more safer and slower builds with the Morello Nomicon and with the Avris Blade. That's a huge disparity, and that's where Pacific can really capitalize and take the game and snowball it to a victory.
Yeah, I'm actually interested in the Gragas item. Right now is the
That is really interesting.
Yeah.
If I recall correctly, the upgrade to Haunted Guys is actually one of the Andre's tournaments. Actually, one of the stronger AP items right now with the 5.13 changes. And
yes, that's true.
I'm not really sure how well it works on the Gragas, as your skills have somewhat of a really long cooldown, so you don't get to constantly apply that Leandri's debuff. However, I guess I can see it working with the Q and the E, having the CC, so you get that bonus effect. And Sexy is getting ganked right now in that mid lane.
Oh, Spirit Rush actually there, and the gank actually failed because the True Shot Barrage did not hit ZXC and decide to disengage. That's one Spirit Rush down, and here comes his double goal for London. Jaspi will be the first one to fall. Bale, meanwhile, is not in a good position at all. That's a cast being used, but that won't do. And that'll be a double kill for the Rek'Sai. And the timing is just so perfect. 3 seconds left, and here comes Dragon.
And that is really huge for Infused. Right before Pacific could buy their items, right before Dragon spawned, they managed to get that 3 for 0. If you take a look at the gold, Jaspi was only 300 gold away from that Triforce. Meanwhile, Luxuria was only 100 gold away from that Infinity Edge.
Yes.
And that's just perfect timing right there. They get that Dragon. They should get this Dragon right here. And they got those 3 kills. Now the gold is 1k back again. However, here comes the teleport, and Jaspi does have home guard.
Oh my, that's red team, that's Infused getting the Dragon, but here comes everybody. True Shot Barrage hits 3 people right there. Pi gets collateral damage, and now that's 2-man down for Infused Esports. The front line is gone. They just want to back down. Kazu doesn't have mana, but one member is eating some pots. I wonder if they'll be able to pursue this. Here comes Oni, is pretty healthy with a blue buff. He's just gonna poke people down. It's one knock up. JRM taking critical hits for Luxuria, and here comes the Q from Luxuria, and they will get the kill. That's 3 for 1.
Yeah, that's just really good cleanup coming in from Pacific right there. However, Infused did manage to pick up that Dragon. And what's interesting to point out is right before Jaspi was able to teleport, he actually bought that Triforce for that fight. That did a lot of damage, really, and that probably might have been the tipping point between those two members of Infused living and those 2 members of Infused dying. And it's all about timings. Like, the timings in this game, I'm not sure if it's planned by the team or if it's just a matter of coincidence and just going with the flow.
Yeah.
However, it's really interesting how this is working out.
Yeah, actually, kanina, when I saw Hecarim pushing top and there was like 1 minute till Dragon, I saw na meron, Spirit Rush in, the Charm connects, Spirit Rush pa rin, that's 1 more Spirit barrage left, but it is not needed. Oni just dies from that.
Yeah, and I feel like Oni's effectiveness come late game might not be as good as it was in the 5.13, 5.12 patch. Luden's Echo no longer procs on your Mystic Shot. Rune Glaive no longer procs on your Mystic Shot. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this pans out. However, it's not to be a problem if Jaspy's so strong right now.
Wow, Jaspy taking a lot of hits. Here comes the Monzu, but a double of course hits 2 people. Ito though trying his best, and that's a double Howling Gale knockup. Bale comes in, that's a triple. Pulverize, Akil goes in once again, and JXC manages to land a hit. Here comes On the Hunt. Everybody from Infused Esports wants a kill, but the True Shot Barrage will finish off the Ari. Collateral damage as well. Last hit para doon at namatay si Pi.
So while your Mystic Shots might not hurt, your ultimates still hurt quite a bit right there. I believe Ezreal's ult has a 1 ratio, 1-1 AP ratio or something along those lines.
Yeah.
And he just chunked ZXC so hard right there in that fight.
So unexpected.
Yeah.
You can't react to that.
Pacific's doing a really good job of just punishing the overextensions coming in from Infused.
Yeah, normally you'd want to go home after like a clash, and go regen or buy some items, and then looking ka na sa items when the next wave comes from Pacific Esports, so they should go home after.
This is the problem with the Infused comp in that once you burn your cooldowns, you're sitting ducked for the next couple seconds.
Yeah.
Once you burn that Malphite ultimate, once you burn that Headbutt Pulverize combo, you don't really do much in the fight other than popping your heal, maybe popping your Brutal Strikes, popping your Seismic Shard once in a while, but the damage output just falls significantly. And if your team isn't complete, then you lose a lot of damage. And JRM wasn't there at the beginning of the fight when all that CC proc, so they weren't able to get the maximum amount of damage.
Yeah, that is true. So basically, this applies to all the games. This is ranked, normals, pro games rather. Like if you're in a clash and then you picked someone off, this isn't always the case, diba? Like, ito na nga yung nangyari sa kanila. They overstayed, nakabili na ng items yung kabilang team. So they're basically stronger than you. You just used all your cooldowns, and they're stronger than you. And then they force a fight that you don't want, and you lose the lead that you just gained.
But then this creates a problem because a lot of the philosophies that the coaches have for their players is that never go for kills. Only take a kill if it leads to taking an objective.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter if you're 0-100 or 100-0. When the Nexus falls, that's the game.
Yeah, that's GG.
So Infused, it creates a balance of knowing what objectives you can take and what objectives you can't take. And here we go with Infused taking the objective in that top lane with that outer turret. Yeah,
it's only the Ari here to defend versus 5 members of Pacific Esports basically. That's actually Akil pala and Ari. They don't have that much wave clear for themselves. They do have the Ari though. So that's still great for them. Hindi natuloy yung plano nila na i-siege tong mid turret.
Yeah, Dragon is up in a minute, so both teams will be probably looking to set up wards and position themselves for that Dragon. Shuttle Crab is being taken by Pacific, which will provide that vision needed. And let's see how they react to this. I expect one of the members to shove, one of the members of Pacific rather, to shove the bot lane, so it puts a lot of pressure on that bot side of the map and leaves the map more open for Pacific. However, Infuse is doing a good job of threatening that mid and forcing all of them to respond, and Jaspy priming himself for that onslaught of shadows, however, will back away.
Yeah, they placed a ward. No sneaky onslaught of shadows. Gumagana yan, no, sa Fiddlesticks, out of nowhere. And you can do that with onslaught of shadows as well.
Especially when your Hecarim is just really strong right now.
Yeah, that's a 5-3-2 Hecarim with a 3-force. But not the tanky still. Nakuha pa lang niya yung 4 damage item. We will see here though how they will actually collateral damage being used there. I wonder if it's still enough. Luxuria is there in the front of landing hits onto Akil. Akil is not in its best position at the moment. Onslaught of Shadows will reach Akil, and True Shot Barrage will go somewhere else. Not there. Wow, he actually killed the Ari. Does he have vision? Did he have vision of?
Wait,
what?
He had no vision. He had no vision. But
okay.
ZXC live the initial burst with like less than 20 HP.
Yeah.
And then get sniped at the end.
Because the focus was on a kill, and I was hoping the True Shot Barrage will be for the Rek'Sai, but then out of nowhere, Ari dies, and I'm like, okay, did they have vision of the Ari? I'm pretty sure Ari was far away already. So let me see. If Ari were to... There is a ward there. There is a ward.
So there was a ward.
Yeah.
So I guess ZXA just chose the wrong place to recall.
Yeah.
And that conceded the dragon. Akil tried to prevent ZXC from dying. I believe Queso tried to prevent ZXC from dying, and in the end, it gave up control over Dragon, and they lost that Dragon. So first Dragon of the game coming to Pacific, and here comes the gank in that top lane. Pi does have his ultimate available, and here it goes.
Wow, remember, that's not a tanky hacker, and that's two people. Infused Esports collapsing onto them. Oh, Ida will bump into the Ari. Charm connects. Exhaust will drop on him. Will it matter, though? Does he have flash? No, he doesn't. And that's a forecast Jana down. And they are positioned very well onto the Baron. Does the Ezreal have the two-shot barrage? He does have the Luden's Echo and a needlessly large run. Do they see this right now? Are they going to time the skills correctly here?
This is a bad play.
Oh,
this is a bad play. Jaspy has his teleport available, and this is a Graves and Ezreal who can poke you out during this Baron take. I feel like this might spell bad news coming in for Infused.
Oh, they still get the Baron. They want to disengage. That's what you want to do right now. Keep the Baron safe. The Baron buff, but here comes a teleport from Jaspy. Will they be able to reach the backline? Kesso will be the first one to get caught out, and right now it's Infused Esports on the run. We're gonna keep this Baron buff safely and use it later on. But meanwhile, though, that's all they get, Pacific Esports. They kill Kesso.
Alright, so for Infused, it worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
But I've seen a lot of EULCS and NALCS Dignitas games, and Baron attempts like that usually end up in bad news. However, it looks like luck is favoring Infused this game.
And yeah, Kesso. Whoa.
Wow, that Ezreal actually has a bit of damage.
Yeah, as I was saying earlier, Kesso did a good job zoning the members of Pacific Esports, using the ultimate early, and yeah, zoning the members away. And sabi mo nga kanina, it's super dangerous because most of the skills of Pacific Esports really work well at close spaces. Everybody was just compressed a Baron pit. It was so perfect, but they couldn't get in. And the death timer for Jaspy, it would have been perfect, no?
Yeah.
Everybody in the Baron pit, and then Jaspy would just home guard teleport in, no?
Yeah, I believe in JRM used his on the hunt when Baron died to run away as fast as possible and just get out of there.
Yeah, that's the beauty of Severe, man. Like, you can use it to engage, to disengage. It's like really, really good. Actually, I feel like the Victorious skin, or okay, Talisman activated from Edo. They're on the chase onto the Malphite. Nobody's there to help him, though. Does he have the unstoppable force to escape? Look at Pi, though, landing a couple of it onto Jaspy. They don't want this. They're pursuing the wrong target. They're getting siege down. Infused Esports doing the siege game right here. That's 3-1 at the bottom lane. They will manage to not... Yes, they will be able to get it. Here comes On the Hunt just with disengage, but he will get eliminated by the Ezreal True Shot Barrage. Kesso is on the run. Meanwhile here, ZXC will shut down the Ezreal. That is quite unfortunate, but meanwhile, Luxury is in trouble. Collateral damage onto the face of Infused Esports, though. A kill with a red buff. Luxury with a red buff as well. Pa-slow sila papasok pa rin to. Meron pa palang pressure Luxury at that will be a double kill. Meanwhile here, onto the shadows, hindi matatamaan itong Ari natin dito. And now they're on the chase, they're on the run. Knife will finish him off.
And that was a 4-for-1 trade in favor of Pacific. Pacific still behind in gold. However, the Baron is now gone from Infused, and Infused overextended in terms of trying to push their Baron.
Yeah.
They were able to take 3 turrets, I believe, from that trade, which is actually not that bad. However, that could have been completely avoided right there. The miscommunication between Kesso, and here comes Pi for that brief skill. What?
Okay.
The
Jukes for days.
Unstoppable force misses.
Yeah. And, you know, Gragas just casually walks away. Okay,
yeah,
bye.
It looks like Pi was trying to aim for a more higher priority target like the Graves or the Ezreal. However, they managed to back away, and Pai just failed the prediction.
Yeah, and well, at least they managed to use the Baron buff wisely before, you know, they all got killed by Pacific Esports. They, that's an open inhibitor right now in the mid lane, and that's what Infused is aiming for right now, right?
Yeah. Really, at this point, they actually can, yeah, they definitely should be going for that mid lane inhibitor. Their comp just works so well with all the CC and with that on the hunt available. And let's see, it looks like all members are starting to group up towards that mid lane, so we will in fact be seeing that. However, Dragon is up in 30 minutes, another objective that both teams might be wanting to contest, and it looks like they will instead be going for that Dragon instead.
Wow. Actually, Locket not for Jana or Pacific Esports just yet.
I actually feel like a Locket maybe on Kesso might have been nice. While the only magic damage is Oni, it's still good to have just magic damage.
Exactly. Oh, Jatsby not in the best position in the world. Will bomb into everybody. Here's the stop before. Knock off everybody. So Bale is in the middle of it all. Will body slam towards safety. He goes in. Even a kill as well. Everybody's on the run from Pacific Esports. And meanwhile, Infuse is on the chase. Ido will be safe. It will be a disengage. They have their priorities straight. They want the dragon. They want the third dragon for themselves. It works really well with their comp. Two-shot barrage. Who will you hit? That's an almost dead JRM.
Yeah, and something to point out about JRM is that whenever Infuse gets this really nice CC lockup, JRM is just so far away. He's unable to respond and deal the damage that Infuse needs. While they were able to walk away with that 1-for-0 trade and that dragon, it could have been just so much better from the Infuse side. And once again, this is a new team to the Pro Gaming Series. Their experience isn't as great as the other teams, and I feel like there's just a lot of room for improvement, like watching this game right now. And I really hope Infused is able to just take the, well, it's not able to take the
yeah,
but like,
yeah,
I'm just expecting a lot of things from them. Really.
Yeah, since they are the new bloods versus Pacific Esports, they have been here since Spring Split. So basically, it's new blood versus veterans right now, and they're really showing promise. Like what you said, they have room for improvement. They have stuff to fix versus this veteran team, because they might get punished if they keep doing these macro mistakes.
There was a miscommunication there where Jerem was about to start the dragon when all of a sudden the rest of Infused initiates onto that Pacific comp while their AD carry is nowhere to be found.
Yeah, and even though ganito ba yung strategy na gagawin nila? Infused Esports, they want this inhibitor down because Baron is about to spawn in a while. And Pacific Esports, they seem to have trouble shoving down the waves. It's always against their favor.
And one of the big things about this current meta right now with this poke and all this stuff right now is that wave clear is just a really vital aspect of your team comp right now, and that's actually one of the smaller things that a lot of teams don't realize about what makes a good comp in this current meta is having wave clear, being able to shove all the lanes in and just go for the objectives and enable the siege for your poke.
Yes.
That's what makes a good team comp, and that's what a lot of teams don't realize. And Pacific has very minimal amounts of the wave clear right now.
Exactly. I mean, look at that. Like, that's an Ari and a Sivir. The godlike
like
wave
they're having so much trouble responding to this split pushing Malphite, and Malphite isn't really the greatest split pusher. He does have some form of AoE wave clear on the minions. However, it's not really the fastest attack speed and doesn't really have anything that affects the turrets.
Yes. Look at that.
It's just the Infuse has just been walking all over Pacific in terms of map control and map pressure.
Yeah, they're securing all the lanes first before they either go for the inhibitor or go for the Baron, because that is the most juicy objective as of this moment. Oh, look at that! Looking for a pick. Sneaky.
Oh,
Ari.
They know. They pinged it. They pinged it. Yeah, so Luxurious Spidey senses tingling.
Yeah. Oh, it's pretty tanky a kill at the moment, and that is a Crucible for the Alistar, but no Locket yet. Actually picking up on Mage Eyes, man.
Yeah, actually Ido had that for quite a while.
I just
believe
noticed.
when he picked it up when he was 115 or something along those lines.
Stacks
So
do you
he's
have?
had that for quite a bit, and I guess
Oh yeah.
he has quite a bit of stacks.
Yeah, that is pretty much like the go signal for everybody. JRM activates on the on, pulverize. Dito si Kazu just with the disengage. They just want to escape right now. Wala na silang Ari. They lack the damage. They don't want this fight. But the shoves, the waves are shoved in Infuse's favor. They want to disengage. We are going to save the carry. Jaspi in the front line. JRM kiting his best. Dito, Graves meanwhile here decides to change target. Dito lang ako kay Pai. And they just want to save the carries. That's a double knock-up for the tanks of Infused Esports. Flash is being used everywhere. They're taking their time dito sa pag-damage. But meanwhile, dito sa, they will finish Keso right there. Collateral damage will miss, but that won't matter. JRM will be the next one to fall. Akil, meanwhile, is slapping the inhibitor in the mid lane of Pacific Esports. And dito si Ido to protect. Is it enough? Will they be able to finish it? Here's the teleport from up top. That's a Hecker. Monster will be used. High is still alive. Look at me. I'm very tanky. I'm just walking away right now. Flash here. Here comes the Ari though. Akil manages to destroy the inhibitor after all this time. That's a long chase. And Ignite will drop. Spirit Rush. That's another one god double kill for the Ezreal. Wow.
So
look
you
at this.
don't need your Mystic Shot to do damage on Ezreal.
Yeah.
735 right now, and a kill. Will he live despite all of that? And he does indeed fall. Managed to get that inhibitor though, but this is again what's been the common trend throughout this game. Pacific Infused overextending on their split pushing, on their how many objectives they can take, and just getting punished for that. We saw earlier before that fight started, ZXC pushing that top lane, trying to get that turret, however didn't respect the positioning of the Pacific lineup and just got bursted. Then they just kept on going, kept on chasing, and they have really good chase with that Hecarim, and they managed to have a pretty convincing sweep. And now Baron's on the line.
That's a really quick decision-making skill from decision-making from Pacific Esports rather. They do have the home guard right now. Look at that, Pacific starting the Baron for themselves. Will they be able to finish this really, really quick? Infused Esports collapsing onto the Baron pit as fast as they can. Are we gonna see a smite steal? Are we not gonna see? I'm pretty excited about this, but here comes the rest of the members of Infused Esports. They get the Baron right now, but that's 3 members down from Pacific Esports. They're cleaning them up. Now it's Bale, the only one left, the only survivor. They decide not to chase. Oh dear, look at the timers. 30 seconds, they're rushing in. Onip.
And a kill. That inhibitor play in the mid lane, while it might have looked questionable earlier, it does pay off. They don't have to deal with that inhibitor anymore. They do have 2 super minions at their side. 20 seconds left. And 5 members of Infused are still up. I don't think Bale can do much right here, and it looks like this will be game for Infused. Infused will be taking the first game of the night, which means that Pacific will be auto-relegated and will no longer be a part of the Pro Gaming Series next season. Wow, what a game.
Wow, that was... I was not really expecting that to happen. I mean, I was still looking for another fight after the Baron.
Yeah.
But that was game, man. That was game.
One swift decision is all it took.
That was really risky for them to take the Baron. I mean, they could have done it sooner after
the Baron throws.
The Baron throws, like it's where everything happens right now. So let's break the
Let's take a look at the scoreboard. So I bashed on Ezreal mid throughout the pick and ban and through most of the game. However, Oni proved me wrong to an extent. He did manage to go 8-4-5 despite his Mystic Shot not doing anything really, and just a tool to reset the cooldowns.
Yes.
We saw right there, he just used his ultimate, then used his Essence Flux, and still managed to 2-shot JRM. So still a lot of damage. Still a lot of damage.
Use it for farming.
And he did manage to smite the Baron at the very end. If you saw that, that was Oni with that Baron smite. So let's take a look at the standings now that this game's over. So like I said earlier, Pacific Esports 1 point. No matter the outcome of the next game, they will only be standing at 2 points, still in the last place, which will leave them eliminated from the Pro Gaming Series. Meanwhile, Infused takes up that 1 point. However, they cannot increase their standings. They'll still be in 6th place, and they will still be heading to relegation.
Yes, for the promotions.
Yeah. So at this point, it's for the style points, and for Pacific, they must be like really crushed right now.
Yeah.
So it'll be really interesting to see next game.
Yeah, that was such a turning point. I mean, the game was really so
Yeah.
close. I couldn't tell who'd have won right there. I mean, Infuse
Really
was making
back
a
and
lot
forth.
of mistakes.
But at the same time, Pacific made a lot of
mistakes as well.
They had no macro presence really.
Yeah.
They're just reacting to the Infuse play, but that's not enough. That's not enough to win you a game.
Yeah, and that single Baron call.
Yeah.
Grabe. So anyway, guys, you witnessed our first game, so don't go away. We will announce also the Watch and Win winners and our second game, of course.
Yeah,
so
and also the winners of that Rampage of
oh,
of
the Rampage event,
contest.
the selfie with the
Yeah.
I'm watching PGS. Yeah.
So
yeah, selfie.
I believe it's 3 lucky winners.
3 lucky winners
We'll be
of
taking that free Rampage ticket.
Yahoo! You guys are really lucky, and you guys will find out kung sinong panalo. So stick around, guys. Once again, I am GS Riku.
And I'm GS Neep.
So don't go away. We'll be right back.